Hey guys, welcome back. This week, we'll discuss a backdoored password manager theft, a vulnerability in CocoaPods showing the possible dangers of using dependency managers, a Stanford student finding a glitch in a ransomware saving victims lots of money, and our CVE of the week, a vulnerability in NetGear R7000 router allows an attacker from the internet to run arbitrary code without requiring authentication. First, let's discuss the backdoored password manager theft. Passwordstate is a password manager used by companies to help their teams share sensitive password resources. Last week, it was discovered that a malicious code was inserted to a patch released for Passwordstate. This malicious code acted as a backdoor and was made part of the product from April 20th until April 22nd. During this time, as many as 29,000 users have downloaded the patch. The code present in the file downloaded a malicious code named loader. This code then tried to extract information about the computer system and specifically about Passwordstate data, which is then posted to the malicious actor's network. Passwordstate creator Click Studios informed their users about the potential compromise of this patch and advised all Passwordstate users to reset all of their stored passwords. In other news, a vulnerability in CocoaPods shows the possible dangers of using dependency managers. CocoaPods is a popular dependency manager used by 3 million apps. CocoaPods helps developers to scale their projects and organize them in file libraries. A researcher who looked at the app's code discovered that a remote code execution attack can be executed in this program. This exploit is caused by unsanitized user input getting through, which could allow an attacker to poison any package download. The researcher had reported this vulnerability to CocoaPods, who corrected it. He had also warned about blindly trusting dependency managers and specifically advised users to consider this kind of attack vector. Moving on, a Stanford student found a glitch in a ransomware, helping victims save $27,000 in potential losses. This student, Jack Cable, got into this issue after he got a call from a family friend who had his computer locked by a ransom group. The ransom group demanded to receive $550 in Bitcoin in exchange for releasing the files. The ransomware in question, QLocker, abuses a known vulnerability in QNAP NAS, which we spoke about a couple of weeks ago. Jack examined the ransomware and discovered that a simple change of spelling in a victim's input would cause the payment system to recognize them as a victim who is already paid. He later tried to reach victims via Twitter and managed to help about 50 of them, saving them an amount of about $27,000 in ransom payments. Sadly, the ransom group has since corrected this glitch, but as we advised in the past when we first reported about this vulnerability, patches have been released by QNAP and should be updated as soon as possible. Now for our CVE of the week, NetGear R7000 router PreauthRCE. This vulnerability was reported to SSD by an independent security researcher. This researcher discovered that the R7000 router allows network-adjacent attackers to execute arbitrary code on affected installations. This vulnerability exists within the way that R7000 handles HTTP requests. There is a lack of proper validation of user-supplied data in the device, which can result in a heap overflow being executed. A heap overflow vulnerability is a form of buffer overflow where a chunk of memory is allocated to the heap, which could lead to some critical data structures to be overwritten. An attacker could then leverage this issue to execute arbitrary code with root privileges. SSD tried to report this vulnerability to NetGear but haven't received a proper response. That's it for now. More details about what we just mentioned can be found in the description below. Don't forget to follow us on our other channels to keep up with the latest news and advisories.